The classroom buzzed with restless energy as the last bell of the day faded. Desks were crooked, backpacks half-zipped, and the smell of chalk and cheap cologne hung in the air. Ms. Co stood at the front of the room, calmly erasing the board. It was only her second week at Ridgeway High, and she already knew which students tested limits for sport. They were in the back row. Evan, Mark, and Tyler lounged in their seats, chairs tilted, sneakers planted on the desk legs in front of them. They were bigger than most of the other students, louder too, and used to teachers backing down once the administration warnings proved toothless. "Hey, Ms. S," Evan called, dragging out the syllable. "You forgot to collect homework again." A few snickers rippled through the room. Ms. Co turned, offering a small, polite smile. "No, Evan, I didn't forget. I chose not to. That only encouraged them." Mark slapped his notebook shut. "Wow, guess rules don't matter in this class." "They matter," she replied evenly. "Just not in the way you're hoping." Tyler muttered something crude under his breath. Loud enough to hear, quiet enough to pretend it wasn't meant to. A couple of students shifted uncomfortably. Everyone knew where this was heading. Other teachers had tried to assert control before. It never ended well for them. The bell rang. Students poured out quickly, relief evident on their faces. Ms. Co stayed by the door, saying goodbye to each one. By the time the hallway emptied, only the three boys remained. "Class is dismissed," she said. Evan stood slowly. "We're just talking. Then you can talk in the hallway." They didn't move. Mark stepped closer to her desk, leaning against it. "You think you're tough because you don't yell. Because you've got that calm voice." Ms. Co picked up her bag and slid it over her shoulder. "I think you're wasting your time." That was the moment Evan crossed the line. He reached out and slapped the stack of papers from her desk. Pages fluttered to the floor like startled birds. "Oops," he said. Clumsy. Something changed in the room, not in her expression, but in the air itself. The easy calm sharpened into something precise, alert. Ms. Co set her bag down. "Pick them up," she said. Tyler laughed. "Or what?" She looked at each of them, not with anger, but with assessment. Distance. Weight. Balance. Her eyes lingered on Evan's stance, the way he favored his left foot. "Or you'll leave," she said. "Right now." Evan stepped closer. Too close. "You gonna make us?" Before any of them realized what they'd done, Evan grabbed her wrist. It lasted less than 2 seconds. Ms. Co twisted her arm inward, stepped forward, and shifted her weight. Evan's grip broke instantly. His momentum worked against him as she turned, locked his elbow, and guided him face first onto the desk with controlled force. Not enough to injure. Enough to immobilize. The sound of his breath leaving his body was sharp and shocking. Mark and Tyler froze. "Do not touch me, Ms. Co said quietly, her voice steady as stone. She released Evan and stepped back, hands open, posture relaxed. Evan staggered away, clutching his arm, eyes wide with disbelief. "What the hell was that?" "Taekwondo," she replied. 3rd-degree black belt. National circuit. Before I became a teacher. Silence swallowed the room. "You assaulted a faculty member," she continued. "That's on record now. Cameras saw it. I will be reporting this." Mark swallowed. Tyler took a step back. "You think fighting makes you powerful," she said. "It doesn't. Control does." The door opened. The assistant principal stood there, having been alerted by a hallway monitor. He took in the scattered papers, Evan's pale face, and Ms. Co standing perfectly composed. "What happened?" he asked. Evan opened his mouth, closed it. Ms. Co spoke. "He grabbed my wrist. I disengaged." The assistant principal looked at the security monitor tablet in his hand. Then back at the boys' office. Now, they left without another word. Word spread fast. By the next morning, everyone knew. Not exaggerated playground rumors, facts. Video clips. Statements. Consequences. Evan was suspended. Mark and Tyler received disciplinary action that finally stuck. But what lingered wasn't fear. It was respect. In the weeks that followed, Ms. Co's class changed. The noise faded. The posturing stopped. Students raised their hands. They listened. One afternoon, a quiet girl stayed behind. "Ms. Co," she asked, "were you scared?" Ms. Co smiled softly. "Once. A long time ago." "What changed?" "I learned," she said, "that strength doesn't need to announce itself." The girl nodded, something settling in her eyes. As Ms. Co turned off the lights and locked the door, the hallway reflected her calm steps back at her. She hadn't come to Ridgeway High to intimidate anyone. But when the line was crossed, her past ensured one thing. No one would ever mistake her kindness for weakness again.